Dipty's been busy too. She's been looking through all the newspapers for us, of course. She's starting with exactly what Brian was starting to, reaction to that landmark trial which found Meta and YouTube guilty of facilitating social media addiction.
Yeah, that's right, Stuart. And just to sort of follow up on what was being said in business, Fortune magazine wonders if this could be Meta and YouTube's a big tobacco moment. This after Los Angeles jury, of course, found Meta, Mark Zuckerberg's company which owns Facebook and Instagram, and the video platform YouTube, guilty of negligence in this landmark social media harms trial, ordered to pay $6 million in damages. The plaintiff saying that she had gotten hooked onto social media at a young age and that this affected her mental health, but also her self-worth as she grew over the years. Fortune says that this could be a bellwether case that could set a precedent in thousands of similar lawsuits, and Silicon Valley might have to rethink features that keep users endlessly scrolling. Now, the Washington Post here saying that it could also reshape legal protections for big tech. Safety advocates really seeing this verdict as a very positive thing, that many seeing it as a long-sought reckoning over the harms of social media. Comes also after a jury in New Mexico found Meta guilty of endangering children and ordered it to pay $375 million in damages. However, not everyone sees it in a positive light. This is the editorial from the Wall Street Journal. The conservative business journal calls it social media shakedown, saying that it is a victory for the plaintiff's bar, but not for children or society. Now, the journal argues that basically trial lawyers will use this LA verdict to, quote, recruit more plaintiffs, ironically, maybe even using social media to do that, to do so, in the goal of really filing more and more lawsuits against big tech companies. So it sees this verdict as really encouraging more lawsuits rather than actually enacting sweeping social change.
Yeah, we shall see how much of a difference it really makes, of course. Now, let's move on to Italy's Giorgia Meloni. Met with Algeria's president in a diplomatic visit aimed at securing gas supplies.
Yeah, that's right. You might say a desperate diplomatic visit, because it was, as La Repubblica, the Italian paper says, a lightning-quick visit to Algiers, the capital, on Wednesday. She had one purpose: securing gas supplies. The war in Iran, of course, has severely dented or depleted even Qatar's liquefied natural gas shipments, on which Italy depends. So Giorgia Meloni, the prime minister, headed to Algeria to meet with her counterpart, Abdelmajid Tebboune, the president of Algeria. They announced a plan to develop joint gas exploration projects. The bad news, though, is that Algeria actually has very little surplus gas ready for export. In any case, La Repubblica says ahead of next year's elections in Italy, this visit could have also been very much about showing electors that she's proactive and that she's working to find a solution to this energy crisis that could be a big electoral issue. This is a reaction from the Algerian papers. El Watan here says that, to quote the president, Algeria will honor its commitments, it says, its responsibilities. This is what he said in a joint press conference. And this from another Algerian paper, an Arab language Algerian paper, which says here on the front page that Algeria is a trusted partner of Europe. So Algeria is certainly seeing itself as taking a very important role, at least for Europe.
Now we're going to move to something a little bit lighter. Love this when it comes up every year. The People's Choice winner. This is from the Wildlife Photographer of the Year. I bet it's stunning. It
is stunning. This stunning picture, Stuart, from Austrian photographer
Cute.
Joseph Stefan. Let me zoom up on it. It's a young Iberian lynx taken. This photo was taken in Spain. A young Iberian lynx tossing a rodent into the air before killing and eating it. So it's
not so cute.
Not so cute, but a stunning millisecond moment of nature's laws, sometimes harsh as it may be. The runner-up is also quite stunning. This is a gorgeous photo taken by a Swiss photographer called Alexandre Bresson in Namibia. It features a flamboyance of flamingos. I checked that up. That exists. That's how you call flamingos, a flamboyance of flamingos. Standing out there on the bottom here, standing out against this bleak industrial backdrop of power lines. This at a bird sanctuary in Namibia.
Wow, that really looks like it's been photoshopped, doesn't it?
It does.
Fabulous picture. Finally, from Dipti, Vogue magazine's publisher has filed a lawsuit against a parody fanzine, which is dedicated apparently to dogs.
Yeah, and it's a brilliantly called Dog.
Okay.
And there you go. There are some covers of Dog magazine.
Right. Yeah,
they're
cute.
brilliant. They're really brilliant. So Olga Podnaya set up this free online magazine as a joke in 2019, but also as a love letter to canines. She, as you can see, she put labradoodles in trench coats and greyhounds in opera gloves. But Condé Nast, which owns Vogue, has filed a lawsuit saying the Dog logo intends to confuse its readers by suggesting a link between the two, and says it's essentially accusing it of trademark infringement. The problem is, though, what happened is in 2024, Vogue's website published a digital issue dedicated to celebrity dogs, also called Dog. But Portnaya, who was running her fanzine since 2019, says they're just jealous. They didn't think of the idea first. And she vows to fight the complaint on behalf of all independent creators. We'll see if Vogue has a leg to stand on in this lawsuit.
Exactly, or 4 legs to stand on. Who knows? How many legs are we? Dipti, thanks a lot. Dipti Laurent there with the papers on France 24.